welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. As always, you guys are amazing. So thank you guys so much for your beautiful comments. Thank you for your support of me and each other, especially in the comment section. And a big special thank you to everybody who has reached out to me on Instagram regarding my spam content, regarding the person posing as the Tarot Cottage on Instagram. So please keep yourself protected if you're over on Instagram, or even in the comment section here on YouTube if you're approached by anyone other than me who's trying to offer spell casting, who's offering cell phone numbers or WhatsApp messages. Just please disregard those people or block and report them where you can. But if you have stumbled across here for the very first time, we would love to have you join us here. I do encourage my subscribers to drop comments below my readings because I offer a chance to win a free video reading from me here at the Tarot Cottage as a thank you for your support, for your presence here. And I do pull about a name a week, so I am waiting to hear back from my most recent winner. So be sure to check your notifications, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to drop your comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win. Be sure to subscribe and hit your notification bell as well, so that I can get you notified and we can get the ball rolling as well. But pull up a chair, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around this table. Today we're looking at a situation with a person on your mind, and this can be in no contact, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But we are looking at their current feelings and secret thoughts of you. So there are secret thoughts that this person is having, and what are they? What are they thinking? And what do they foresee for the future as well? We're going to take a look into that. We have 3 piles to choose from today, and I'm using the food tarot here. We have pile number 1 with the yellow jasper and the classic, the Coca-Cola. Pile number 2 with the ember stone and the burger. And pile number 3 with the rose quartz and the forever golden french fries. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you today, there may be messages waiting. My timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, it's all about the person on your mind today. It can be in no contact. What are their secret feelings? What are their hidden thoughts about you? Pile 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the yellow jasper and to the Coca-Cola, the classic, and this is your reading. This person that you are not, perhaps it's no contact. It doesn't necessarily have to be. But we're looking at current feelings and secret thoughts that they may have about you today. And we're starting with the classic here, and it is the 5 of Cups being represented by the classic. And what's really interesting, kind of sad about the 5 of Cups, is that it's a really strong longing and loss energy. It's like somebody who regrets a lot, somebody who feels the loss of a friend, feels the loss of a lover, feels the loss of something that could have been. Maybe it wasn't even a full-fledged relationship, but it could have been, because there's a lot of wishful thinking surrounding this card, and a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's like it could have gone either way. The sun and the moon are here. It could have gone either way, and the decisions I made led it to the side of the moon. And so there's a lot of regret surrounding their energy field right now. And we have this classic energy here because there's something about Coca-Cola. You know, there's something about it that reeks nostalgia. Whenever I think of Coca-Cola, I think of those commercials where the bubbles are tickling the nose. And so they're very nostalgic as well when it comes to you in this connection. So let's take a look here and see what are their current feelings and secret thoughts of pile number 1, please. What does your person currently think and feel about you and this connection? The 6 of Wands. Eight of Wands, very strong fire element. They could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius here. But there's the 6 of Cups, and there's the 4 of Swords. And you know, there is such a strong nostalgia and memories soaked, like they're soaked in memories of you. And it feels very youthful, it feels very innocent between the two of you. And I feel like there was a lot of masks being worn even in the past, and they've never taken them off. Those masks have always been in place. And there's a lot that has not gone spoken between the two of you. But I feel like there's a lot of unspoken truths between the two of you too, and they really feel that, but they never said what they wanted to say, and so that's just been pressurized. It's just been building like an Instapot, and I just feel it in my heart space, just my heart chakra kind of expanding and retracting a little bit. And even with the 4 of Swords, there is a reality that really stings, a reality that they'll never be able to shake you. It's like, and that's the truth of the situation. It's like, despite what's happened, despite whatever you guys have evolved into, it doesn't matter if there's other people now, it doesn't matter what you have grown into. It's like the reality is that this is kind of permanent for them. And that's But also along with the permanency of how they feel about you is the permanent regret, is the permanent loss. Like there's so many valuable things that they remember, but there's also so much pain attached to it. It's like it hurts their heart to hear your name sometimes. And they know that they need to heal, but it's like they need a little bit of help to heal too. Because they feel they're talking about the stained glass, and they keep repeating the stained glass, stained glass. It's like, and when I think about stains, it's like, we can't get that out. We can't get you out of my system. I can't get you out of my system. And I keep looking backwards too. They keep talking about that as well. I keep looking backwards, and it's heartbreak, disappointment. And I feel like they're really disappointed in themselves because they feel like they could have been more generous with you, or they could have been more open with you. And they feel like you probably would have been there to catch that. And I also feel like from the Divine Feminine's perspective, you also were really afraid to say anything. You were afraid to get burned in some sort of way. And that could even be how you're feeling in the present now. I keep thinking about that Selena Gomez song where she says, we don't talk anymore. And it talks about, you know, you've heard that song, we don't talk anymore. And there's a part of that song that keeps looping in my head about, I keep wondering if you want me to call, but I'm not sure if you do. And so there's an aspect of that about wanting to reunite, but not being 100% certain that you want that, and you not being 100% certain that they want that as well. And it's like perpetual youth is what I'm hearing. Perpetual youth. You will be a perpetual youth in their mind. It's like the bloom will never fall off the rose. Forever green, I keep hearing, forever green. We have the Two of Wands and we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the problem is that I feel like sometimes this person tries to seek you out online, or they try to at least look at you in some way online. I'm just grabbing a different deck here. They are, whenever they get inspired to take action, and they do think about communication with you, but they feel like it's kind of risky. And that's why the Fool's here, even with the Ace of Pentacles, the Fool's here. Because perhaps they're not privy if you're in another relationship, but they would still be interested in that. If in a perfect world, they would still be interested in a relationship with you. Because it's almost like they feel like that's where their life would begin. And it feels very longing. It feels there is a reality that really hurts that they need to heal from. We have the Temperance. When they think about you, it's like they have one foot in reality and one foot in the fantasy realm. And when they have their foot in the fantasy realm, it does get very fiery, actually, with some of their thoughts, some of their dreams, and some of their fantasies surrounding you. And they feel like they're sort of making it through life, like they're making it through life with this mask on. They're trying to feign confidence in their journey, but it's like I don't know if I can achieve full confidence in my journey. It's like I'm on the search for balance. We have the Justice and we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I did just hear I got what I deserved because I didn't take action. It's like I got what I deserve, and you feel very far away now. It's like it's not just about a practical or a geographical distance. It's more about the emotional distance between the two of you. And there's just the truth about how there has been change and growth, and they feel like they have changed, and they wonder how you have changed. It's not that they're passing the buck to anyone else either. They are taking responsibility for their part in things. We have the Four of Cups. And to be honest with you, I feel like they do have a lot of things to be grateful for. They have opportunities for growth. They may have moved into other positions in their life. They've gone for the job that they want. Maybe they have a career that they love. Maybe they have a partner. But it's like sometimes they have a hard time feeling the gratitude for what they have in their present because of the reality with you. So you still have such a profound impact or influence on them. Despite the fact that when we think that we leave people behind, we leave them completely behind. But there's an energetic sort of tail that exists, and there's permanent love. This person could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, perhaps. We have Libra energy as well. But the truth is that they're heartbroken because they love you. The King of Cups is the most emotional of the kings. He loves you. And he feels like the unfinished business has to kind of be put up on that shelf, and he has to keep that feeling to himself too. And he feels sort of helpless with that because, again, it feels permanent. It's like, this is the way it's going to be. It's like, this is just the way that it's going to be. And I'm going to have to try to find a balance within how it is, because there's no going back to the past. And they're kind of stuck between this youthful idea when it comes to you and this, because they've evolved and changed, but when they think about you, it snaps them right back to that mentality in the past. And between that and loyalty. And they're very loyal to that dream of you. They're very loyal to the nostalgia and to the connection itself. They'll never stop fantasizing about reconnection. And they'll never stop thinking. That's what I keep hearing. It's like, I'm never going to be able to stop thinking about the lack of closure here. And they'll never be able to stop being curious about what this could have been if they just had the courage to say something, to act, to do something. If one of you had the courage to do that. Because they're taking creative accountability is what they're doing now, Spirit says. They're taking a creative accountability because they're like, I know what we should have been. We have the Lovers, Gemini. It's like, I know what we should have been, but it's almost like they took too careful of steps when it comes to making a decision about you, or too many carefully plotted steps to creating a relationship with you. They let the obstacles get in the way. And the obstacles weren't even that big then. I feel like it was just insecurity or a lack of confidence. It wasn't even that big. And I don't even think it was a lack of confidence. It was just confidence being tested. Because I'm looking at this little tree and it makes me think of one of those bonsai trees. And I know how long it takes to shape and form. So it's been a long time that this person first met you or has been influenced by you. And they took too long to push through and tell you how they felt. They were too passive. And now they're kicking themselves. They're still kicking themselves to this day. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, that they have to keep to themselves about pile number 1? That they know that it's time to let go. It says sometimes it's best to let go and let the universe work things out in divine timing. But that's what they struggle with, because they keep saying, this feels permanent. How do I release? How do I heal? When the reality stings so much. And they're in a habit of looking into the past as well. We have receptive. Be ready to receive what fate has planned for you. And that's the problem with the Four of Cups, is that they feel now that they have to chase the sunset or something. They have to chase happiness in some way. And so they're not as receptive. Look at how she's turning away from the angel. They're not very receptive to what they have to be grateful for in the present, because they feel like you were their mirror. You were the 1111. And when they think about you, it's like the angels are singing. 1111 is an important number for twin flames. It symbolizes the harmony and balance of soul counterparts. So we have challenges, and we also have power coming in the reversal. The power of love is like a magnet drawing souls together, and all true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together, but they're also reversed because they don't know if this can be overcome. And the fact they don't know that it can be, they feel like they have to just suffer through the helplessness, perhaps perpetually, but it may just be encouraging them to take some sort of action. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, of pile number 1? We have Ganesha, that you are a goddess. And that it says clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance. And they are protecting this connection. When it comes to that 6 of Cups, the guard is there standing over it. It's number 31, which is a 4. Again, we're sitting at this precipice of benchmarks and changes. And they don't necessarily know if luck is on their side. But you can see she's holding on to that ball. It's like, I'm still holding on. It almost looks like a grenade. It's like, if I let it go, it's like I'm worried what will happen. Back of the deck says, jewel within a teardrop, appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. Because as much as there has been so much turmoil, there's also something very bittersweet about the connection, and I don't feel like they would give it up. I don't feel like they would go back and change anything necessarily about this connection. Let's pull a couple of message cards. We're going to start with the eternal messages here, and then we're going to move into some written cards. What are their current secret thoughts about pile number 1 today, please? What were they thinking today about pile number 1? I've been having dreams about you. And it's because they keep pushing so much below the surface of their intuition, above their their truth. They keep pushing it and suppressing it, that they can only have it come up in the dreams. I know more than you think, so they may be keeping tabs on you and your social media. And it's like they feel like they know how you feel. It's like they feel like there's some sort of connection between the two of you. You're very different, but that's why I love you. And they definitely feel like you have set yourself apart from other people that they have met or experienced in life. I'm done running from this connection, but it's not necessarily about taking action either. They know that taking action, and they're curious about it, would require a leap of faith and require pushing themselves way out of their comfort zone, maybe even a risk. But if they had the chance, they would take it. They like to fantasize about that. I keep a close eye on your social media. And back of the deck says, telepathically communicate with me, because I do feel like there's something, I feel like you guys have some sort of spiritual connection that you're able to really pick up on each other's emotions quite easily. Let's get some message cards here. I'm going to use the pink and orange message cards for you. Oops. Addicted to you. So maybe they're a little bit addicted to keeping their eye on your social media. They're doing it a little bit more than they should. I do look for you wherever I go. Because they think about you so much, it's almost like automatic that they wonder if they're going to conjure you up. Memories of us keep me going. What are their secret thoughts, please, about pile number 1? I'm making plans, but I need time. And I will say the Two of Wands is a planner, is a plan maker. And in the future position, we have the Fool and the Page of Wands. So they're very still curious about taking some sort of risk when it comes to you. In the past, I may have given you the impression that I did not care, but that was definitely a lie. Reach out to me, please. So they may not feel like they can reach out to you, but they're like, I wonder if you'll ever reach out to me. My life is in chaos right now. And have you moved on, question mark. So even if you've moved on in a practical sense, they wonder how emotionally invested you are there, because they often think about the first day that you met, that very first beginning, and how they would go back and turn the hands of time and make different choices. But let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. What does this person intend on doing for pile number 1 or towards pile number 1 in the future? Do they have any intentions of movement? Ace of Pentacles, and we have your Ace of Pentacles here too, but there's the Ten of Pentacles. So for someone watching, and not for everyone, but for someone watching, there could be a family in place, either on your side or their side. It could be both. It could be a mutual situation. And that's what causes the stress or the risk of reaching out. So there is this planning energy of intention, but it's not really being shown as an execution at this time. They fantasize about it, but there's a risk associated with it because it will cause permanent change, but it could also cause permanent epiphanies that change everything. So they do think about reaching out, but they know the consequences. And they're holding back because of that. We have the letter A and P, and we have the Tree of Life. I do think about the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Dolphin, and I think of friendship and flirtation. We have the Heart with the nursing cap, so somebody could be a nurse perhaps, but also a blocked heart chakra, and about nursing a pain in the heart now as well, so heartbreak. And the Key, somebody who didn't let us in on the secret. We also have the Dance and the Two of Cups. Oh, you know, the Dance, I think of Garth Brooks, the Dance, that song. It's very bittersweet. It really speaks about how, you know, at the very beginning, they think about the day that you first met, and it's a good thing they didn't know then what they know now, because otherwise it's like, maybe they would never have tried. Maybe they would have never had the dance. But there's a beautiful aspect of that song about, I'm really glad that we had the overall dance together. It's very sweet and very nostalgic energy. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you today. If it resonated with you, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, and I would love for you to drop your comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my links below for Etsy for personal reading, for Instagram. I also have a link below there for my little brother's channel right now. He is a nature photographer and an outdoorsman, so he has posted a few little things there too. If you want to check him out, he would appreciate it. But I do hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the amber stone and to the burger here, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, it doesn't have to be in no contact, but it definitely could be. What are their current thoughts and current feelings and secret thoughts of you? And the burger here is actually the Hierophant. It's supposed to represent the Hierophant energy. And there's something about this stacked It's like layers. It's like there's layers to this person's feelings that perhaps they didn't get a chance to expose, because there's even this yolk in the egg. There's all of this potential. It looks like an egg energy. It's like all the potential that went unused. There's the bacon that's been crossed out. So there's like a lack of action or being too passive when it comes to you as well. This can also speak about sort of ascension that they've made. This is Taurus energy. They could have moved into commitments or into a really strong focus on their work realm at this time too, but they still keep going back to that moment in the past. They still keep thinking about what could have been if we had just taken certain steps together and revealed the potential here, and we're kind of brave enough to reveal the potential. But there's also this wedge of cheese, and so there could have been something that came between the two of you as well. This could have been a person, this could have been fear, this could have been whatever the case may be, but there was a wedge that came between the two of you, and they really often think about that as well. That sort of got in the way of the ascension. So something that came between the two of you that got in the way of the progress that perhaps was being made between the two of you as well. So let's take a look here and see what are their current feelings, secret thoughts of pile number 2, please. Current feelings and secret thoughts of pile number 2. Just focus on the 5 stars on that Burger card as well. So I think about the 5 of Pentacles. They wonder if you feel the same way. They wonder if you're in the same boat as they are. They wonder who's suffering more in this connection right now. And they're talking about a great divide. So this could be a space between the two of you, could be a long period of time of no contact perhaps, but they're talking about this great divide between the two of you and something that divided you. And something that divided you. Now for someone watching, they're actually talking about school. So this person could have gone to school, or they could have kind of left the hometown, so to speak, and sort of went away. And that could have been the division and the wedge that came between the two of you. But there was something that came between the two of you that caused a great divide, I keep hearing. And there's the 6 of Swords. And you can see in this 6 of Swords version, there's one person in the boat. The traditional Rider-Waite does show 3 people in the boat. So they feel they don't want to be alone on the sea, so to speak. They keep talking about, is this mutual? Am I alone in all of this? And it's like they want your perspective on things as well. They wish that there could be a conversation, and they could be just really hoping for closure, or at least they think that they're just hoping for closure in these conversations. They wonder if you both felt the same potential, and they're talking about the two of you being really different. So you could have been different culturally or something, or even just with how you look. There's just something very different about both of you. We have the Death energy. Now there is this reality at this moment that makes them hesitate to be able to get closure in the situation with the Death card. And they hesitate to get closure because, first of all, they don't actually want it. Let's be realistic. They don't actually want the closure. They want more information. And when more information gets fueled, that kind of creates a little bit more of a momentum. But they also hesitate because of a reality, or because of a 3D situation, perhaps, here with the Death card. And she's waving a black flag. It's like, I'm not ready to surrender how I feel. But I also know that it's like something that I have to step upon in order to achieve success. It's like I'd have to push myself way out of my comfort zone in order to achieve clarity with you. And so the universe is really thinking about all of the unfinished cycles between the two of you. And there's an online aspect of your connection where they're perhaps keeping tabs on you. You can even see in the Death card, she has her hands up on her head and she's like peering into the distance. So there's a watchful mentality. It's like, I try to keep tabs on your social media. Current feelings and secret thoughts, please. We have the 2 of Wands. I feel like they definitely are watching you online. Because when they do that, it really sparks a lot of fantasy and a lot of sort of planning mentality. And what's interesting, though, is that they have one hand on this spark, but there's a wand behind them that they're completely ignoring. And so they are saying that you distract them from responsibilities, from other focuses. You distract them still. But they sort of do it to themselves, especially with this watcher mentality. They would come and watch you, and then it distracts them. And then they, it's like letting you play the scapegoat for that distraction. But thoughts of you tempt them so much. They could be an air sign. They could be a Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Six of Pentacles. And they are saying that they have moved into a commitment cycle of some kind, or they're aware of your commitment cycle, and so they know that it's a difficult request to ask for clarity, because they feel like they're a part of this karmic loop, or they feel like they're a part of perhaps a karmic connection of some kind. But they keep emphasizing communication. And this King of Swords, he often leads by example. He wants to communicate with you. He wants to clear the air. But there's also there's a logic surrounding that. But Spirit says that the logic is not necessarily based on the true reflection of closure, that this person is actually still very much addicted to you, still very much attached to you. And so they're not being 100% honest with this idea, or this aspect of like, maybe we need to have a conversation so we can have closure. The truth is that there's an addiction here. But there's also attachments. And there's the Lovers, Gemini, looking at things from another perspective. But we have the Hermit and the Nine of Cups as well. And this person has you up on a pedestal. And that's where their focus is. And to be honest, even if they've moved into another cycle, there's still an inherent loneliness about this person. I don't know if they're really shy when you knew them, but there's just they don't let a lot of their emotions out, even in their practical realm now. And that's self-imposed. They do that sort of on purpose. They have surrendered to their position. It's like, I don't necessarily have any intention of making plans or changes in my situation, but that doesn't mean that I haven't held you up on this pedestal of want and desire and focus, because it's like star energy. Something that I have my ego, my heart transfixed upon. And there's the Hanged Man. And they feel like, you can see the Hanged Man's crown chakra is all lit up because of the constant thoughts about, what would I say? What should have I said? And they've had conversations with you, like conversations with you in their mind, because they feel like they can't have conversations with you in the 3D right now without causing some sort of upheaval. And so they've had these conversations with you in their mind. They may have even written it down, because this person's kind of very keen on communicating something. So they may have written you a letter, so to speak, but never mailed it. And I feel like they have sought out information about you in the past, especially in the online format. And what they found led to some reality checks for them. So whatever they saw in your profile, for instance, perhaps about your status, maybe, showing you looking happy and abundant, it definitely stung a little bit. And it added to sort of the reality of the obstacles. But they still want more information. It's like, I still want more information. Even though I can't act upon it, I still want to know. I still want to know how you feel. I want you to know how I felt or what I experienced in the past. Very strong Taurus energy here as well. And there's an aspect of fatherhood with this person, so take that as it resonates. So they may have moved into a very abundant cycle of their life where they have a lot of different aspects of growth, not in just career and family, but relationships. Two of Wands with the Two of Wands. And the truth is it's very, very mutual. It's a very mutual thing. And there is this sneaking suspicion coming from this person about whether or not this is not just some old connection or some old opportunity that they are really thinking about, but that it could have been maybe a little bit more. It's like you are the one connection in their mind that pierces through their logic and asks them to look into a more emotional or spiritual scope. Because this doesn't feel like the type of person that would be really comfortable talking about soulmate energies. And they might think that that's a little bit, woo-woo for their liking. And they really thought that it would be easier to walk away. They really, really did. And this Eight of Cups is them kind of recognizing what they're experiencing in the 3D right now and how fulfilling it is versus what they experienced with you in the past. Because you make them want to be impulsive. But they're afraid of that impulsivity. Yeah, there's the nerves. You make them want to be really impulsive. You make them want to do kind of naughty things with the devil energy, but they're afraid of the consequences of that. You can see that this this knight is charging over top of these 3 dunes or these 3 pyramids. And so it really talks about the 3 of Pentacles and foundations being formed, and how now it's like they're just so used to overthinking about you, worrying about the situation, and honestly even probably losing sleep a little bit every now and then. What are their current feelings, please? Surrounding pile number 2. We have here the universe. The universe is guiding you to that special person. Allow everything to take its natural course. And the universe is like the world card, the unfinished business in this cycle, in this connection. And they wonder about the connection in a sense of serendipitous energy or purpose or fate. But they're not the type of person, originally before meeting you, they wouldn't be the type of person to really think about that or delve into that lesson. But we have respect your relationships. And that's why perhaps they're like, I have to walk away from, I need closure, and I have to walk away from my dreams here because I want to respect the environment that you're in, or I have respect for my environment at this time. And either way, I've surrendered to it. Surrendered to what is. We have here challenges. All true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together. And the fact is that there are a lot of, not insurmountable obstacles, but there's a lot of obstacles here. And I don't know that there would be a willingness on either side to really traverse those obstacles at this time. What are their current feelings, please, for pile number 2? Paying attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you from taking action. And they are paying attention to you. Like they're paying attention to thoughts about you. They're trying to seek you out on social media. They are paying attention to you. And the red flags are cautioning them to respect their distance, respect your space. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking will bring you romance, but it's coming reversed because they're not expecting a lot in the future. There's this feeling of you holding their focus, but you can see he's in this meditative state, you holding, and then trying to accept a state of inner peace, ultimately, with the Buddhist monk here. Back of the deck says, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. But they do feel like they have been waiting for a really long time for this connection and with this connection. But let's get a couple of message cards here. We're going to start with some Honest Love Tarot here, and then we're going to move into some written cards. What are their current secret thoughts about pile number 2, please? I'm a smug son of a bee, and we do have the 9 of Cups here, and that's the 9 of Cups. There is a bit of an assumption that this person, I feel like this person thinks that they're really smart, and I think they are really smart, but there's a smugness about them, about their opinion of things being the truth in certain situations. And sometimes they're very right, sometimes they're not. If here, I listen to every word you said. And I am working really hard on myself. I think this person does sort of prioritize. Honestly, I feel like I almost got a sense of them going to the gym, to be honest. Not just working on their spiritual self, but they would be more inclined to work on something physically before they'd work on something spiritually. Communication, clarity, truth, and success. And that's what they feel. This card sort of treats the situation like a process. This is the steps we have to take to achieve success. Communication will equal truth, will equal clarity, which will equal success. And then they'll be able to start a new cycle. We have the yin. But the truth is that there's something more here than meets the eye. And so this cycle of truth and clarity, the reality is that this is a divine feminine energy towards them. So they may be the divine masculine, and you may be the divine feminine, and has nothing to do with gender. It's really all about the energy field. But there's something special about you. Do you believe in magic? Because you make them wonder about it. There's something magical about the connection, and you make them wonder about it. What are their secret thoughts of pile number 2, please? It says here, you make my heart soar, and I fantasize about being with you. Let's see what else I have. I have been deceitful. I haven't been honest. The chaos that this creates is too scary for me. This really stresses me out. And I saw the Nine of Swords, and that is such a card of stress, and them having to go back into sort of a hermit mode in order to de-stress. I didn't mean to love you. I really can't help it. But thoughts of you tempt me so much. And I've missed so much of your experience. I want it to be you and me at the end of the day. And back of the deck says, you are everything. You are everything that they could have wanted. On the other side of the deck, it says, I stay away, but not because I want to. And there is an aspect of them being respectful by staying away. So that may resonate with what's going on in your 3D situation. So let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What does this person intend on doing towards this connection in the future for pile number 2, please? This person with current feelings and secret thoughts. We have the Empress reversed, the Ace of Wands. They wouldn't want to do anything to knock that Empress off of her throne. Yeah, there's the Tower reverse. It's like, I don't want to create havoc for you. I don't want to create havoc for anyone. And so it's like, I'll hold on to this spark, even though it's getting a little bit hot. They don't want the spark to go out either. They're really hoping for change, but they also don't want to do anything that will implicate huge upheaval for you, especially for the Divine Feminine. In the bowl today, we do have the ant. Immediately going to the ant, I think about the Divine Feminine, actually, because of the worker ant system, and it's sort of like a colony of bees, often run by a matriarchal system. And so it's like, if there's going to be movements, like this person's like, you're going to have to reach out to me. We have J and we have T. We also have a little rocking horse. I think of children, and the rocking horse has fallen over. So I do think about children, perhaps being a factor as to why they aren't going to create conflict, because the Empress can sometimes have a motherhood energy towards her. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. We have the Tree of Life. Again, motherhood, family, growth, Cancer energy, and Libra energy. And we definitely have a sense of air elements about this person. We have the feather. I do think about the shamanic feather of healing and looking at things from a higher perspective. And then we have the syringe. I think of hospital or nursing connection, addiction as well. Medication. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop that comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button. It helps me to bring you guys more content. You can check out my other links below for Etsy for a personal reading or for Instagram. But please come back here and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile 3. You are drawn to the pink quartz or rose quartz, and this is your reading. This person doesn't have to be in no contact, but it definitely can be. This person on your mind, how are they currently feeling, and what are their secret thoughts about you? So you were drawn to the Fries, the Forever Golden card here. And this is from the Food Tarot. Now, this particular tarot deck doesn't necessarily adhere to the the numbering system of the traditional Rider-Waite. It does say 15, which is a devil energy. But this card makes me think about actually the star energy, the Forever Golden, somebody who's kind of put up on a pedestal forever. But it can also speak to sort of the addiction quality or the codependency of this connection itself, because we can definitely become sort of addicted to these types of foods and to fast food, which is sort of the theme of today's sort of readings, is this fast food energy. And so there's like an addiction that they feel, codependency. There's salt here, there's onion rings, there's fries, there's dip, there's all these things that perhaps aren't good for us, but we can't help it. And so this person's like, I'm addicted to you, I can't really help it, I keep you up on this pedestal. So let's take a look here and see what are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, of pile number 3. Current feelings and secret thoughts, please, of pile number 3. 7 of Cups. A lot of these thoughts could be very physical, to be honest. There's a lot of confusion between the two of you, and a lot of fantasy between the two of you as well. Sometimes, you know, when we are in the throes of addiction, because that's what they're talking about being addicted to you, it can almost make us feel like a shadow of our former self. And that's what I feel like here with the 7 of Cups. It's like, you make me feel like a shadow of my former self, because I'm always putting my awareness back to when we were an item, or when we were together, when we were spending time together. And it's like maybe physically I'm here, but emotionally I'm way back here. We have the Devil. Capricorn, very strong. Lots of senses of codependency and feeling unable to break the cycle as well. So they're sort of feeling very stuck. And when the confusion that they feel makes them feel insecure. They wonder if it's mutual. They wonder how you feel. They're very confused about that. And that adds to only fuels their insecurity, fuels their fire. And the thing is that we have very strong earth element with this person, Taurus, Capricorn. You make them remember what it was like to be young. You make them remember what it was like to be free. There's a thirst surrounding you, a very physical thirst as well. Like this person is thirsty. Even here with the salt, it's like it's making me thirsty. And they don't let other people in on this secret. They do keep these feelings about you to themselves here. And I feel like they were very passive overall. And I feel like they're still a passive person overall. And I just heard daddy. So they could be a father figure. Or they could have like matured to that age, so to speak. And there's a stubbornness to them too, which contributes to sort of it's almost like an addictive personality. There's a stubbornness to them that contributes to that. Because it almost feels like they haven't necessarily tried to clear out this cycle. They haven't really tried to stop the addiction of you. In fact, they just go back to the fantasy to fuel that thirst. It's like they're just used to chasing satisfaction. And the reason why they're so secretive about you is because I feel like they've moved into perhaps a foundation with another person, or they've built something for themselves because they're afraid of it coming down. But they also have had a lot of aha moments when it comes to you and when it comes to what they've suppressed. And those epiphanies, those truths have made them feel very, very vulnerable. It's made them feel weak. And I feel like this person does not like to feel weak. That's not acceptable, is the weakness. And yet that's what this is triggering in them, which is a very interesting dynamic of sort of the roles that we play in other people's even spiritual development. It's like this person has such a fear of being weak, and so your connection has almost imposed the weakness in them that they have to overcome, so to speak. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Two of Pentacles. And there's a reality that, again, they can't face the reality, so to speak. They can't act upon it, but they can't unlearn it. They can't unsee the truth of how they feel now. They can't stop this addiction, this codependency that they feel. They feel helpless to be able to create change. But this also makes them feel a little bit, it's like makes them ignore what they do have to be grateful for. When we have our focus consistently on something that we perhaps can't have or isn't good for us, or when we have it focused there, we don't have anything left to create change in our own dynamic. We don't have anything left to give other people. And so they may sort of overlook what they have to be grateful for in the present here because they're juggling so much. They're juggling, they have too much on their plate to juggle so much. They're juggling their connection. They're juggling their other relationships. They're juggling their job. And they are holding space for you. And that's just the truth. It's like that's the reality of the situation, is that I don't know how to clear it out. And I don't really have any intention of clearing it out. I know that I have to do something, but I don't know when and I don't know how. And until then, I feel stuck here. And there's the Five of Swords reversed, because there are solutions to the conflict. There are solutions. It's like fair fights. Like I want a fair shot. I want a fair chance. And I never thought that I felt like I got one. And so they are sort of struggling with, it's almost a little bit of frustration or anger at themselves or the situation. They're struggling with that inner weakness. But you know, when we're really, really angry, when we get really, really angry, that's just pain that's being exercised in a very profound way. And so when this person gets upset with themselves and gets really angry, it's such a weakness that makes them feel weak, but it's just their pain that's being internalized and being pushed down, and they really feel that. But they feel like there has to be sort of a fair fight or peace after this conflict eventually. They can't go on like this forever, and yet they've been going on for it like a long time until they can get the lesson. And I feel there is a watcher mentality with this person as well. That's similar to pile number 2. Let me just grab a different deck. feel a watcher mentality with this person. And that would fuel that addiction as well. You have a profound effect on this person in their 3D experience right now. Like, there's all these cards here in the very center, not so much the outside cards, but the 3 in the middle for me are very important when it comes to the present energy of this connection, the present energy of this person. And all the major arcanic themes are here. The devil, the emperor, the moon, the tower. These are huge ones too. This is upheaval. This is suppression. This is our vulnerability. This is the loyalty that they've shown to that focus as well. And I feel like they're a really hard worker too. We have the 3 of Cups reversed. But they apply that direct focus, that hard sort of workmanship mentality to even to the addiction to you. And they have convinced themselves that they don't necessarily have the support of you. It's like they don't necessarily have your love, or you don't feel the same way, the capacity that they feel. And there is even a friendship element here as well. So this could have been a friendship that should have evolved. We have the 2 of Wands. And throughout these fantasies, they're always thinking about what it would be like to expand, what it would be like to have further connection with you. But they are very passive about executing that desire. We have the 7 of Pentacles. Because they know what will be lost with what they've invested in. They know what you've invested in, perhaps. They know what they have invested in. But they're not sure if they have the courage, or even the courage to kind of be honest about how they feel, which contributes to that lack mindset. But they don't know if they have the courage to be able to, or the power to be able to make change there. But you influence them in that environment. And they wonder if they would experience an upgrade in life. But again, sometimes Spirit says that they turn their back on what they do have to be grateful for within what they've invested. But they sometimes wonder, it's like this maybe is an upgrade. And even if you look closely at her, she has horns like the devil as well. So it's definitely perhaps the ego that's fueling this consistent codependency. And we have the Queen of Wands. They do feel sort of guilty about keeping you waiting, and they're also speaking about the great attraction that, of course, everyone is attracted to you. Of course, it's like they don't think that they think that you don't care for them, but they're not confused as to why they are attracted to you. It's like, of course people are attracted to you because they gravitate to you, and this person gravitates towards you. But they keep themselves hidden because they think that that's the smart way to go about it. They think that that's the logical thing, is to keep it suppressed. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. And I do think that this person, if they do talk about you, they aren't honest about it, to be honest, because the chameleon is all about sort of a social chameleon, and someone who's able to wear a mask and able to change their opinion based on who their environment is, or who is around them in that environment here. And so there is a lot of things for them to be grateful for, and there's a lot of things that they should feel confident about in their experience too. But this is really all about masks wearing, because here's the 7 of Swords as well. It's like I'm lying when I'm really acting really confident, and I pretend like I don't care, and I pretend that everything is victorious. I'm lying to myself and other people, because the truth is I know how I feel here. I know how I feel about you, and I can't unsee it. But if I do act upon it, if I take this mask off, the towers will fall. We'll have to create upheaval, and I can't commit to that. There could be children involved. Again, I heard the word daddy. There could be children involved here with the 6 of Cups, but they're also exceptionally nostalgic surrounding you and this friend. It's almost like they're like, I miss my friend. I miss my best friend, is coming through as well. How do they currently feel about pile number 3, please? Synchronicity. They feel like there's destiny here. Like they feel like there is something. But the honeybee is also a symbol of self-sacrifice for me. So it's like I'm being passive purposefully because I'm protecting something. And it's going to mean that I have to stay perpetually thirsty, but I'm protecting something. We have connection. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. And back of the deck, we do have marriage. A marriage of souls is a union of two divine counterparts blending together. So I do feel like there are conflicts of that nature. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. How do they currently feel, please, about pile number 3? Their current feelings. We have here the Finch Spirit Guide. It says, I love us. And there's these two birds, these two robins here that didn't have enough trust to take that leap of faith together. And so there's this feeling about the two of you being a unit. It's like you're their person and they're your person. Despite that there could be other people and persons involved, they're like, I love us. And they love the sort of connection that the two of you forged in the past. And sort of this, again, this codependent energy, they've really built it up in their mind as well. But the 11 is all about the truth of the situation that they've suppressed, the cause and effect of their actions that they walk through that doorway and say, hey, this is how I feel. Because they feel like they're facing the consequences of their actions now. And we have here Psyche, number 37, that we have to look deep within to see the true nature of how they truly feel, that they have to keep it hidden to themselves, very, very close to their chest. But that there could be some sort of spiritual connection here that they sometimes deny to themselves because they get so confused and so overwhelmed with the codependency that they think that you don't feel the same way. We have Mermaid Soul, number 33, and you do tempt them. And the 33 could talk about two foundations that would be at risk if they give in to that temptation, because the mermaid will lure us sometimes to the depths. How do they currently feel, please, about pile number 3? We have here miracles, and it's coming in reversed because they feel like it could take a miracle now. But there's almost something, again, serendipitous about what they feel in the future. It's like, I feel helpless, but I hope that the universe will make a way for us here, because I wonder if this would be the passage that would bring me the most abundance or bring me the most fulfillment in life. Let's get some message cards here. We're going to start with some message cards and then move into some handwritten cards. What are their secret thoughts, please, of pile number 3? You came closer than anyone. And now I feel like they don't let people get close to them. Even in their practical realm, they do keep people emotionally at bay. I know that I messed up everything. And I feel you, even though we're not together, even though we're apart, I still feel the connection. I feel like they'll always hold you in a really special sort of light as well. You were the best thing in my life. And I wish I could share my good news with you. It's like they do wish that there could be some, it's like so much has happened. So much has happened in your life. So much has happened in their life. And I wish that they could talk to you about it. It's time for me to heal now. And I do hide behind material things. Let's get some handwritten notes here as well. What are their current secret thoughts, please, of pile number 3? Reality has hit me like a ton of bricks. I am ready for a fresh start. I know that I made a lot of wrong decisions when it came to you. I also saw, I loved you then, I loved you still, I always have, I always will. And I think of marriage quotes when I see that. I remember everything about you. Every detail. Because I fell so hard and so fast for you. And they've never gotten off the ground. I just saw, I don't know if you guys ever used to watch Family Matters. I just saw Urkel. It says, I've fallen and I can't get up. I don't want to create havoc in your life right now. But my attraction is more than physical. Let me get one more. You are like a breath of fresh air. And I wonder if I think about you too much. Because it's like, it's almost like they don't want to admit to the addiction of you, but the addiction is definitely there. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What intentions does pile 3 person have towards them in the bowl moving forward? 5 of Cups reversed, the Lovers. There's it's like they need forgiveness. It's like they're seeking forgiveness. They almost feel like it's too late. We have the 2 of Wands. So because of the Lover situation and because of their logic, This person is looking at things from every angle, and there could be a choice here that they have to make between partners. You know, there's an option that they have to make. And so there's this regretful energy about having already sort of made a decision. And if I take a certain pathway towards you, it could create some sort of dissolvement or disillusion in my relationships. So they are intending on delays. This fantasy that they have, the Two of Wands, where they really fantasize about taking action, it feels like it's all talk for this moment, at least. We have the Divine Feminine Stiletto, looking at things from a higher perspective to see the truth of the situation. We have and 0, the Fool. We have Hello Kitty and the Wing, looking at things from higher perspective again. We do have the Hatchet. I do think of the Tree of Life being cut down. And we have the Rose of Hope and the Horseshoe here, or the Wishbone. It's like I have wishes, I'm holding on because I still have this wish in my heart. And there's an emphasis on the word, on the name Teresa with me, with that heart, with this particular rose, because anyway, there's an emphasis on Teresa with that rose. We have the High Priestess here with the curled shell. So the Divine Feminine sitting upon information she knows to be true about how she feels. It's like they may be very off base when it comes to their expectation of you not feeling the same way. There's an education or student quality to this person. You may have gone to school with this person. There's a temptation with the apple as well associated with you, and a higher purpose or a learning element associated with the connection itself. Oops, all right, pile 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it did, please drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button. It helps me to bring you guys more content. I also have links below for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, for Instagram. And my baby brother actually has a YouTube channel right now. He's a photographer and an outdoorsman. He has a little homestead, and he just posts little shorts about the creatures that he sees around his homestead. So if you want to check him out, he'd appreciate that, I'm sure. And that link is below. But I hope that you come here and visit me again at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.